Alright, Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushua, Ba'Hashem, Makakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone. Salutation to all the brothers and the few sisters that's out there. Unto the Israelite foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Shalom. In the Hebrew, which means peace, just a quick show to the spirit, and let the video play out. Hopefully there's no commercials.
Vaccines.
If you don't get vaccinated, you have zero protection.
But why do people fear them? Join Dr. Sanjay Gupta on a journey to find the answers.
Where is the anti-vaccine information coming from?
The truth about vaccines.
And CNN, I must say, CNN is the head of this whole entire movement of trying to not defame us, but make everything seem to be a lie when they themselves are liars. That's why they always do a special on something. So they're trying to be the head of the game. Vice is another one. All news network, but CNN is like one of the main things. But yeah, I mean, just watch the video real quick.
Monday at 9.
The divisions of the moment shouldn't stop us from doing the right thing for the future. I'm going to bring Republicans into the Oval Office, listen to them, what they have to say, and be open to other ideas. We'll have a good faith negotiation with any Republican who wants to help get this done. But we have to get it done. I truly believe we're in a moment where history is going to look back on this time as a fundamental choice having been made between democracies and autocracies. You know, there's a lot of autocrats in the world who think the reason why they're going to win is democracies can't reach consensus any longer. Autocracies do. That's what competition between America and China and the rest of the world is all about. It's a basic question. Can democracies still deliver for their people? Can they get a majority? I believe we can. I believe we must. Delivering for the American people is what the American Rescue Plan was all about. And it's been overwhelmingly popular when I wrote it. Everybody said I had no bipartisan support. We're overwhelming bipartisan support with registered Republican voters. And ask around. If you live in a town with a Republican mayor, a Republican county executive, or a Republican governor, ask them how many would rather get rid of the plan. Ask them if it helped them at all. It's what the American Job Plan is about. The new one I'm proposing. I hope Republicans in Congress will join this effort. I hope and I believe a number of businesses will join this effort. And I hope and believe the American people will join this effort. Democrats, Republicans, Independents, we can do this. We have to do this. We will do this. We just have to remember, this is the United States of America. And I've said it 1,000 times. There's nothing beyond our capacity if we act together. So it's time to move together.
And this man is about to... What we just witnessed right there, that was it. What we just witnessed right there was the end of America. And what I mean by that, we've been saying this for a long period of time. But if you look at the money situation, it's all about finances. So now it's a once-in-a-generational thing that he's saying. And now he's talking about a tax hike. And how you going to tax even the rich where there's nothing really supposed to be moving? And that proves that this society is heading in a downward spiral. Ultimately, this is like the nail in the coffin, so to speak. All right. It was a $3.3 trillion deal, but I guess they find a way to bump it down. And this man has done so much with his few little times that he's been in power, that he's been in office compared to anybody else. He did so much. And they still haven't spent all the money that they raised up. So now all this is doing is weakening the dollar. Inflation is about to go up. Gas prices about to go up. People can't afford anything anymore. I don't know how true it is. I'm just around my way where I live at. My brother told me that at 3 o'clock in the morning, because he comes late, whatever. And he said that he said it was giving out tickets at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, God damn, who the fuck? Like, what can he do? And what's coming to realization is that they're really going full throttle and oppressing the shit out of everybody. Okay? How are you gonna pay your debt? How are you gonna pay anything? Now the IRS, they want they don't want the money they don't want the money back for now. They want some of the money back, and every year from now on, the money that you didn't get or you got from 2020, they're gonna want a piece of that. This man, and you gotta get the hell out of here. Actually, I'm gonna start with that. Micah 2:10, it says, Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it's polluted, it shall destroy you, even when it's showing destruction. And they're setting it up nice and lovely, so to the point where you can't even go out anywhere without some type of ID, which is going to be in your phone, or it's going to be the chip. And it's hiking up the taxes up. So somebody's going to have to pay. That means there's going to be less jobs, where there's not that much jobs. People don't understand the fact of what he's doing right there. And then just when he came into office, it was a pipeline from, was it Keystone, they said? And he already canceled that job. That was thousands, or maybe millions of people that lost that job. Now this whole climate plan, the climate change joint, where the old ways of how you built certain things, you can't build it no more. That means that you got to go back to school so that you could be taught right. So that's going to take a whole lot of people out of that field. Then a lot of people is going to lose their job because robotics and technology. So, like, why you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are fighting tooth and nail for a land that has no placement for you? No placement for you. This is not our rest. You can't retire. You can't retire because they're taking the money from the Social Security to pay all these things off. Well, Habakkuk 2, I believe it's 6. No, yeah. I'm going to start at 5. Let me start at 4. Habakkuk 2:4 says, Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not a right in him, but the just shall live by faith. And never in a long history of time period, more than ever in 2020, we learned that we don't need much. We don't need much. You know, that's for brothers. All we need is Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. The Lord's going to provide. Whatever you need, the Lord's going to provide. So the whole idea of certain things that you have and all the materialistic things, as long as you can get by, you can pay certain bills and food in your house, roof over your head, and a vehicle that you can move around, you don't need much. And you're going to live by faith because things are about to be taken away from us in the harshest manner. Yeah, also because he transgressive by wine, he's proud. He's a proud man. And that, you hear what Biden said about democracy? Here it is, he's talking about bipartisan, which meaning two parties coming as one. And he's the one that's really putting the splits between the Democrats and the Republicans. They're not even seeing eye to eye. They're just completely shunning the Republicans and pushing out these draconian laws after law, and saying at the top of it all that this is democracy. This shit is funny as hell. It says neither keep it at home. It's because he's not only gonna do it over here, it's all over the world. And the key to Esau's wars is to tell you that he's going to another country to give them freedom. Slovakia. Through what? Through democracy. The same wine that he's given it his own citizens, he's giving it to the people around the world. All right? Who larger desires is hell is as deaf and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations and people, and heapeth unto him all people. Sorry. Gather unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. That's why I don't have a problem bringing in the other tribes, Issachar, Naphtali, Asher, and so forth, in the States, because they have something planned for them. All right. He's not satisfied till he gets everybody. And that's why they said, Biden said, oh, people come in here because he's a nice guy. That's why they want to come. So this is all a plot. It says, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, saying, woe unto him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. That word for thick clay is abatyat, meaning debt. Ultimately, Esau owes the Lord all the debt of sin that he did, but financially he owes as well. And he's even willing to bankrupt his own society, borrow more money from the federal bank, and whatever, they running the thing dry. So that way they can bring the RFID microchip and chip everybody. So it's clear as day what's going on. Okay, and that next check is gonna come in the form, like I believe the brother said is right. It's gonna come in the form of the digital dollar, and they're gonna monitor everybody. That's why the UBI is so important. Universal base income, and they're practicing in Oklahoma, California. Have given $500 to the poor family, and they're monitoring everybody. So this is all part of the package deal. Now they want to attack infrastructure, bridges and roads and so forth. And then it's initially that's what it sound like, but underhandedly they're gonna pass other things that people don't know. So Esau he's underhanding the wicked, man, and selling everybody a pipe dream to put them more into increase of debt. I'm ending off on this Proverbs 22:7. Matter of fact, the rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. And that's clear. Where are they getting all this money for the infrastructure now? He's gonna hike up taxes, right, for the rich, and the rich is gonna do this. Ecclesiastes 12, I believe it's in 3, says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinding cease, because they are few. So the chain reaction of hiking up taxes after a terrible year is going to be the grinding to be fewer than what it is right now. Because people is not going to be able to afford to pay anybody, because the taxes, they're not getting the tax breaks like they used to. All right. See, when it comes to tax breaks to the rich, they hire more people. When you tax the rich, they cut back on the people. It said, those that look at the windows be darkened, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. No more jobs. So Prakate Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Because the Lord is about to literally shut America down for good this time. It is all according to the Lord's will, the way things are going down. So with that being said, we brothers, edify shalom to the elected nations. Shalom.